Hey Fever fans, it's Caitlin Clark. I can't wait to get to Indianapolis. I know you guys are excited, I am too. It's gonna be an exciting summer for us.
Whether in or out of the court, Caitlin Clark exudes charisma like no other. You may have heard of her or seen her name splashed across news sites and/or various social media platforms a lot in the past year. That still rings true to this day. With her fame, all kinds of rumors follow her around. That too remains true today. Without a doubt, Caitlin Clark has been a beacon of light for women's basketball. Her dynamic play style caught the eyes of many, and fans have been watching her dominate with it since high school. Clark had an electrifying rookie season, breaking records and living up to the hype she built during her Iowa Hawkeyes run. Arguably, Clark is one of the greatest players in the history of women's college basketball, especially known for her scoring. As a guard for the University of Iowa in 2024, Clark became the all-time leading scorer in NCAA basketball, surpassing Pete Maravich's record of 3,667 points. She later was the #1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, selected by the Indiana Fever. Clark's widespread popularity has helped increase interest in women's college basketball, which has seen higher TV ratings and greater attendance. Her seemingly innate talent on the court appears to be exactly that, as she grew up in an athletic family and played various sports. However, she eventually concentrated on basketball and was a phenom from a young age. According to her grandfather, by the time Clark was 5 years old, she could dribble a basketball and already displayed great anticipation on the court. She also showed the competitiveness and tenacity that later became her trademarks. Fast forward to her senior year at the University of Iowa, when she became a cultural phenomenon. Her games were routinely sellouts, at home and on the road, and she had 1 million followers on Instagram. On February 15, 2024, she broke Kelsey Plum's scoring record of 3,527 points. In a dominant win over the University of Michigan. Clark's record-breaking shot, a deep three-pointer, one of her favorite shots, came barely 2 minutes into the contest. Clark finished the game with a career-high 49 points, also an Iowa record, along with 13 assists. Afterward, NBA Hall of Famer and TNT broadcaster Shaquille O'Neal called Clark the best female collegiate player ever. Not long after her historic night, Clark announced that she would be entering the 2024 WNBA draft when the season ended. In the 2024 WNBA draft, Clark was selected as the #1 pick by the Indiana Fever. She made her professional debut in mid-May. The team hasn't had the best season, but Clark was later named the WNBA's Rookie of the Year. Though she's the face of the Indiana Fever now, Caitlin's name will likely always be synonymous with Iowa Hawkeye basketball. At Iowa, Clark was as dominant as it gets. She set multiple records, including becoming the NCAA Division Sonnet all-time leading scorer, men's or women's, and she was a 4-time first-team USBWA and WBCA All-American, a 3-time unanimous first-team All-American, a 3-time first-team AP All-American, a 2-time AP Player of the Year, a 2-time Naismith College Player of the Year, and a 2-time Wooden Award winner. She also led Division I in scoring and assists 3 times, and 3-point shooting twice. Not one to never look back to her roots, Clark visited her old stomping grounds earlier this year, when she had her jersey retired by the school. But she's returning to Carver Hawkeye Arena again in just a few weeks' time to host a preseason game against the Brazilian national team. Not surprisingly, the game is already sold out. In light of this, Iowa took to social media a few days ago to announce a small change to that game, stating, "Time change. We're tipping off at 3 p.m. CT on May 4th in Iowa City." Clark saw the announcement and decided to have a little fun with it. "We'll rearrange my calendar," she replied on Instagram. Fans took to social media to applaud Clark for her unique and facetious response, with several users getting a kick out of Clark's personal brand of whimsy. One fan even commented, "She's the best social media menace 'cause she's so unserious." Anyhow, The Indiana Fever are inching closer to their return to the court after going 20-20 and falling in the first round of the WNBA playoffs last season. With training camp set to begin later this month, the anticipation continues to grow. It is worth noting that star guard Caitlin Clark has been must-see TV since her college days, but the attention escalated after her performances night after night in the WNBA. Fans around the Indianapolis area, in particular, have shown a new level of support for the Fever. They sold out 16 home games in 2024, an increase from 2 in 2023, and jersey sales were up by 1,193%. A few days ago, the Fever made a big television network announcement with WTHR. The Indiana Fever and WTHR, the TEGNA-owned NBC affiliate in Indianapolis, today announced a first-ever multi-year distribution agreement that will deliver more exciting basketball action to Central Indiana fans than ever before, the team wrote in a press release. WTHR, along with TEGNA's METV affiliate WALV, will carry 18 Fever games this season. While that might not sound like much at first, considering Indiana is set to play on national TV for 41 of their 44 games, it's actually pretty significant. In connection with this, the Indiana Fever exhibition scheduled for May 4th inside Carver Hawkeye Arena will now start at 3 p.m., 2 hours earlier than originally scheduled. The shift likely comes as a result of the game's TV designation. Caitlin Clark and the Fever will face the Brazil national team on ESPN unless there is a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs, which would cause the Fever game to be shifted to ESPN2. Before the news broke, Indiana was already scheduled for a league-high 41 nationally televised or streamed games. Here's the thing. Tickets to see the former Iowa women's basketball superstar return to Iowa City sold out in 45 minutes, and resale prices exceed $250. If you didn't know already, the Fever will kick off the preseason on May 3rd against the Washington Mystics before playing Brazil on May 4th and the Atlanta Dream on May 10th. Indiana opens the regular season on May 17th at home against Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Ahead of the 2025 season, Caitlin Clark addressed all the rumors about the Fever's locker room. Appearing as a guest on the alternative broadcast, hosted by WNBA legends Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, Clark finally addressed the swirling rumors surrounding the Indiana Fever's locker room. People think they know what's going on inside of their locker room, and at the end of the day, it's just the girls who have been there and obviously the coaching staff. That's all that matters, Clark said during the segment. The speculation, which had been heating up for the last year, was sparked by Hall of Famer Sheryl Swoopes during an appearance on the Gills Arena podcast in September 2024. Swoopes claimed there was a lot of tension within the Fever camp and even suggested that players were leaving the team because of it. Yeah, we lost our first 8 games or whatever, but we wouldn't have won if we didn't have a tight-knit circle or a good locker room. And that's the reason that kind of turned everything around. We needed some time. We were a young group, you know. We figured it out, but it was really fun, honestly, Clark said. With the 2025 season just around the corner, all eyes will be on Indiana. Not just to see how Clark performs in her sophomore year, but to see if the Fever can translate potential into wins. One thing's clear, the locker room, according to Clark, is not breaking, it's bonding. What do you think is in the cards for this athlete this season? Watch this to find out.